Welcome to the fourth video about muni forward projects. Today, we're revisiting the 5-phone corridor and focusing our attention on the 5-phone rapid project from Fulton and Co. in the west to McAllister and Larkin in the east. Before we dive into the specific changes, I'll first point out several notable improvements that have been made along the way. In October of 2013, Muni started piloting a new route called the 5L Fulton Limited, which was the predecessor to today's 5R Fulton Rapid. During the pilot and up until August 15, 2016, the 5R used 40-foot trolley buses. However, as the final pilot report in 2015 for the 5R found, the addition of more service and faster speeds on the rapid route has led to an increase in ridership of 17%. Additionally, in the long run, from 2009 to 2019, the 5 and 5R saw a 60% increase in daily ridership from 14,000 passengers per day to 21,000 passengers per day. Thus, in April 2015, Muni increased the 5R's frequency in the AM peak, midday, and PM peak. The 5R Fulton Rapid was also upgraded to longer 60-foot trolley buses in the fall of 2016. The introduction of larger buses on the 5R happened shortly after all 60 new flyer trolley buses in the first batch of replacement vehicles were placed into service. Most recently, between 2017 and 2018, physical improvements were made along the 5-Fulton corridor from Ocean Beach to Park Presidio and from Cole to Larkin. In this video, we'll start at Fulton and Cole and make our way east from there. In 2013, a road diet on Fulton from Stanton Street to Baker Street was implemented. Between Stanton Street and Central Avenue, 4 9-foot wide travel lanes were replaced with 2 12-foot wide travel lanes plus a center turning lane. Between Central Avenue and Baker Street, 3 travel lanes were reduced to 2 travel lanes to make room for the transition from parallel parking to perpendicular parking. Road diets offer safety enhancements such as allowing for transit vehicles to navigate the corridor more comfortably and avoid sideswipes between vehicles. Wider lanes also allow 5-Fulton buses to safely pass 21 Stanton buses laying over at the near side intersection on Fulton and Schrader. Another road diet project was recently completed in August 2020 on California Street between Park Presidio Boulevard and Arguello Boulevard. Leave a comment down below if you want to learn more about the California Street Safety Project. Now we pass by the University of San Francisco as we make our way downhill to Ashbury Street, where pedestrian bulwarks were added to all 4 corners of the intersection. These bulwarks help shorten the crossing distance, increase the visibility of pedestrians, and reduce vehicle speeds by narrowing the width of the road. On February 25, 2017, the inbound 5 and 5R stop at Fulton and Masonic was relocated from the near side of the intersection to the far side. This allows for buses to proceed through the intersection on a green light before stopping. This is also the transfer point to the 43 Masonic to the Marina District and UCSF Parnassus. If you want to learn more about the Masonic Avenue Streetscape project, check out the video where I take you all along Masonic Avenue. I'll leave the link in the descriptions below. 1 block to the east, the 5 and 5R make a left onto Central Avenue and then a right onto McAllister, which they will use for their route down to Market Street. The stop at McAllister and Lyon in both directions were removed and the intersection received a new traffic circle that replaces the 4-way stop. I want to point out that there are still stop signs for vehicles traveling on Lyon Street with a sign attached that says, "Cross traffic does not stop." Note that as of the making of this video, Muni is operating the COVID-19 Core Service Plan, which suspended the 5R Fulton Rapid and replaced 60-foot trolley buses with 40-foot trolley buses on the 5 Fulton local. Although I appreciate that the traffic circle here reduces vehicle speed and eliminates the need for transit vehicles to come to a complete stop except for pedestrians crossing, I noticed that the articulated buses were not able to navigate around the traffic circle as smoothly as the standard 40-foot buses. Oftentimes, the center and rear wheels of the 60-foot buses would ride over the roundabout. Furthermore, the slight slope in the road that the traffic circle creates makes me wonder whether or not the constant flexing of the articulated joint in the 60-foot trolley buses have any significant impacts to the longevity of the buses. Next, at the 4-way stop-controlled intersection of McAllister and Baker, both the inbound and outbound curbside pull-out stops for only the 5-Fulton logo remain at the near side of the intersection. The bus zones here have also been extended. One block over, a new traffic signal was added to the intersection of McAllister and Broderick. This traffic signal has transit signal priority, being that it will hold the green light when it detects a bus approaching. I'm not entirely sure how well these signals are working, but just purely from personal experience, I've noted a handful of times where I saw the signal holding the green light for the bus that was on. Approaching McAllister and Divisidero is the transfer point to the 24 Divisidero to Pacific Heights and the Castro. The big improvement here are the bus bulbouts for both the inbound and outbound 5 and 5R stops. Both stops remain at the near side of the intersection. These bulbouts speed up transit service by allowing buses to stay in the travel lanes when dropping off and picking up passengers. The additional sidewalk space that the bulbouts create reduces conflict between passengers waiting for the bus and pedestrians passing by. Similar to the intersection at Broderick, the next intersection at McAllister and Scott received a new traffic signal with transit signal priority. 2 blocks to the east is McAllister and Steiner. At the early stages of planning, a new traffic signal was proposed to be installed here to replace the four-way stop, but due to pushback from residents, a traffic circle was used as a compromise. However, once the traffic circle was constructed, some motorists on Steiner Street seemed to be confused about whether or not to stop at McAllister or treat the intersection as a yield. As a result, the traffic circle was removed toward the end of 2018, having only been installed earlier that spring. A spokesperson from the sfmta said that the topography at this intersection did not make it a particularly good location for a traffic circle. I want to point out that there is an approximately 9.2% grade on eastbound McAllister from Piercetown to Steiner, and an approximately 6.3% grade on eastbound McAllister from Steiner down to Fillmore. Our next stop is at McAllister and Fillmore, the transfer point to the 22 Fillmore to the Marina Green and 16th Street. Here, both the inbound and outbound stops for the 5 and 5R are located at the far side of the intersection, and both have been upgraded with a bus bulb-out. An interesting thing to note about the far side outbound stop here is that some buses pulling out from the garage, such as during the early morning hours, turn left from Fillmore onto McAllister and pick up their first passengers here before making their way to the Ocean Beach terminal. But this is only true when the 5 and 5R are using trolley buses from the Patrol Division. As mentioned earlier, due to the muni COVID-19 core service plan that is currently in place at the time that this video was made, the 5 Fulton route is using 40-foot buses from the Presidio Division. 2 blocks to the east at McAllister and Buchanan, a new pedestrian island was added to the middle of the crosswalk and a flashing beacon was installed. Pedestrians who intend to cross it will have to activate the flashing beacon manually. Next, both the inbound and outbound stops for only the 5 Fulton local at Laguna were located at the near side of the intersection. The original proposal was to relocate both of them to the far side of the intersection. However, only the outbound stop has been relocated to the far side, and that change was made on September 14, 2019. At McAllister and Gough, the curbside pull-out stops in both directions are now at the far side of the intersection. This stop only serves the 5 Fulton local. A bus bulb-out was planned for the outbound stop at McAllister and Larkin, but that never ended up happening. This wraps up our look at the improvements of the 5 Fulton Rapid Project east of Arguello along Fulton and McAllister Streets. This project connects the 5 Fulton route on Market Street to the inner Richmond, where the final phase of this transit priority project is being carried out. To learn more about that section of the project, check out my video in the link in the descriptions below. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Until the next time, keep on taking transit.